All right, good evening, everyone. I'm the Mad Computer Scientist, and I'm a bit early. And let me make sure I am alive where I intended to be. All right, let's see, where are we? Let me go to my channel and make sure everything is running the way it should be. All right, let me go back. All right, we're still in the dashboard on the back here. Need to go there. A couple more clicks here, and we should be good. All right, so we actually need to see this on. And we need to make sure. All right, sounds like my sound is working. Next, we need to check to make sure that everything is going where it should. Like I need to change sound over to the headphones. There we go. That way I won't get any feedback. And then we need to check for sound on the video we will be watching tonight. Give me a second here while I share the screen. Wrong one. There we go. All right, so the next thing we need to check to see is if we have sound on the video. We're also going to move the microphone closer to my mouth. All right, so let's see if we have sound on the video now. We do not. All right, give me a second. We're going to fix that, I hope. Share screen. Oh, apparently you can't. That's weird. I don't know why you can't do it that way, but we're going to share the screen. And let's go back. Wait, this is only 2 minutes and 30 seconds long? Well, we may have to get to something else tonight. Okay, well, really, I was pretty sure I chose the longer video. But let us see if we've gotten what we need here. We do not. All right, so let's try this again. I must have forgotten to share the audio tab. We may have to find something else. All right, that's what I forgot to do. I forgot to click on the audio. Got it? And now let's try this again. Go back, play it for a few seconds.
ChatGPT without any...
And see if we get any sound. Where were we? Here we were. Go back here a little bit for a few seconds.
ChatGPT without any...
Okay, looks like we have sound. All right, so let's get into our intros. I am the Mad Computer Scientist. On this channel, I discuss math, computer science, and technology topics that are of interest to me. On Fridays, we do something a little different, however, and I like to see if I can find flaws in people's logic when they try to make an argument. I apologize, I do have some other videos I would like to get to, I just really haven't had the time to do it. Now, I was looking around for videos today, and I thought I found someone longer, so I may pad this out a little bit because I like these to run for about an hour, where I found a Muslim apologist thinking that ChatGPT can prove his religion. Now, he's not the first one to do this. I've certainly seen Christians use ChatGPT as if it were an expert without understanding what the software is actually designed to do. Frequently, they often misunderstand when they're asking a question loaded with their personal bias. And I suspect that's what we're going to see in this relatively short video tonight.
bias, without any religious dogma, I want to know what is the best preserved word of God.
And how are you going to know that? We don't know what God's words actually were. And I'm sorry, but I know you believe the Quran was inspired by God, but it was still written down by an individual. Even if what you believe about how the book was produced was true.
Between the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the Quran, looking only at manuscripts and oral memorization, no religious bias.
So looking only at manuscripts and oral memorization, no religious bias. But you're asking the question in the way that includes religious bias. And you apparently did not realize that.
Name me one in one paragraph. Let me know which one of those three is best preserved.
In one paragraph?
Strictly based on the criteria of manuscript consistency and oral memorization, the Quran is the best preserved among the Old Testament.
And you didn't even see what you did there. You don't even see what the problem with what you're doing here is. Yes, the Quran probably is better preserved than the Old Testament because we have the Quran in its original language. There's another religious book we have in its original language too. It's called the Book of Mormon. Now, there are plenty of people who believe the Book of Mormon is the Word of God as well, and can point out that it is probably, in their estimation, better preserved than the Quran. We're not going to go into the history of Mormonism tonight, but if I asked a question in a way that showed bias to the Mormon religion, using the criterion the Mormons use to judge their book, ChatGPT would tell me the Mormon religion most accurately represents the Word of God with its holy book. So what you're doing here is you're actually suffering from an implicit bias and not realizing that your implicit bias has caused you to ask the wrong question. All right, let me stop for a second so I can remind everyone that we are currently at 248 subscribers. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you do subscribe, ring that notification bell so you will always get the latest updates on this channel. Now, I apologize for not doing this last week, but I had another commitment to attend.
The New Testament and the Quran, early Quranic manuscripts, such as the Uthmanic Codex, show remarkable consistency with modern versions, and the tradition of oral memorization hifz has ensured that the text has been preserved with minimal variation. While the Old and New Testaments have
You might want to get that stupid smile off your face, because everyone saw what you did, and it's not proving anything. ChatGPT is not an expert. Mostly what it's doing is spouting something most likely other Muslims have written. That's going to show bias towards Muslims because of a biased training data set. I am guessing you didn't realize this, and like many people of religious bent, you think because artificial intelligence is ostensibly smarter than most people, even though it doesn't actually think, that it's giving you the correct answer to your question. And as far as the best preserved text, it may very well be.
rich manuscript histories, they contain significant textual variations, and oral memorization does not play as central a role in their preservation. Thus, the Quran is considered the best preserved in terms of both manuscript integrity and oral transmission.
Well, we don't have the original scripts for the Bible either. We have things that come fairly close to the time when we believe the original manuscripts were written, but the Bible has also been translated into many different languages, and translation is not an exact process.
All you Christian apologists, go argue with ChatGPT.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. You really are clueless about this, aren't you? Yes, Christian apologists are making the same mistake you make. I'm not sure who this guy is, but he didn't realize he asked the question in a way that would confirm his bias. I don't think he's seeing Christians make the same mistake he's making here, or perhaps because of his own confirmation bias, he doesn't realize he's in fact making the same mistake. People really need to get over. Okay.
ChatGPT, without any bias, looking strictly at statistics,
Okay.
tell me who's been responsible within one paragraph. Who's more responsible for murders in the history of mankind between atheists, Christians, and Muslims? I want to know statistics, no bias.
Looking strictly at statistics and historical data, atheist regimes in the 20th century.
Okay. You're an idiot. Try to use your brain next time and understand the word regime there. Also, a lot of people say this online, and it's not entirely as accurate as they would like to be because they include someone who was in fact Catholic. But no, the atheist regimes were not murders committed by atheists. They were just murders committed by the regime.
Particularly under leaders like Joseph Stalin and Mao Zedong, are often considered responsible for the highest number of.
Wait, it didn't even remember Pol Pot? I know you're not that smart guy, but you could have at least added that one.
Deaths, with estimates ranging between tens of millions to over 100 million due to political purges, forced famines, and repression. Christian empires and nations have been involved in.
And what you're missing about that total, which wasn't in fact murder, it was incompetence in the famines because a man by the name of Lyshenko did not accept evolutionary principles, and Mao later copied his ideas. Despite the Russian premier at the time telling Mao Zedong not to do what the Russians did because the Russian premier knew it led to famine. I am not remembering the guy's name. I think it was Khrushchev.
Numerous wars throughout history, such as the Crusades, European colonialism, and both world wars. But the death tolls from these are spread over a much longer period. Muslim empires and states have also been involved in many wars, particularly during the early Islamic expansions and various later conflicts. But their death toll.
Yes, Christianity and Islam both spread by the sword.
Are generally smaller compared to the large-scale atrocities of atheist regimes.
That is only because we have more efficient means of doing that now. And again, you're not getting the word regime there. Please use your brain next time.
In the 20th century. Therefore, atheist regimes have been responsible for the highest number of deaths in recent history.
Okay, so I don't want to believe this guy is actually representative of his religion. I think he's just another apologist of the same religious bent who has a hard time understanding that ChatGPT is not an expert. Nothing particularly new about that. Let's go to a different topic. And let's see what we can find. Well, not a lot going on tonight, it says. We're going to ignore that AI debate thing I just saw. Oh, I missed that Allah responds one, but let's forget that one right now because let's try to get away from religion. I know I saw it. Oh, there's a Joe Rogan video. I don't want to do that one either. Huh. All right, maybe I imagined seeing that video earlier. Well, the major thing for doing this tonight was to make sure we had something back on the schedule. We do indeed have something back on the schedule, but I would like to continue this longer. And I cannot find anything, huh? All right, well, let's Let's take a look at this clip I saw up here, just to fill the time. That's not about religion. Okay, where are we? I know I saw it. No. No. Yeah, I don't know why that's showing up there. That's interesting. There we are. We'll go with that one for now. Let's see what this person has to say. And we'll go to about 30 minutes tonight. That should be good for this because I honestly thought that video was going to be longer. This is a short clip. And let us see if someone's there. Oh, I don't know which one of them is the bigger idiot. I'll have to give that one to Tucker, though, because at least Joe Rogan knows he doesn't know things. Are you sure about that? I mean, we can ask our current systems to design much better computers, and they may even do it, but ChatGPT is limited by what humans have actually produced up to this point, or what other AIs have produced, which are not usually as high quality as what the humans produce in terms of the algorithm. And if the AI models keep feeding off themselves, we have something that's happening now that's called model collapse. And there's an old conspiracy theory that a lot of people have forgotten about called the dead internet theory that has been slowly regaining more ground. Now, the dead internet theory actually had more to do with Google and its SEO techniques making the internet more and more useless, which we have seen, and it has happened. Google actually tried to do something about it when it released an update called Panda, which was trying to kill the content farms and people exploiting the algorithm. Now, there are a lot of problems Google causes that it doesn't intend to cause, and I don't think it even realized that that would be the effect, such as the anti-competitive nature of its page ranking algorithms when it comes to business. Ideally, Google should have a search engine that you're just looking for information, and one that you can use when you're looking for shopping. Or at least Google should change its page ranking algorithm for businesses that occasionally a business that doesn't pay its advertising fee will get listed higher in its rankings. Otherwise, we're going to continue having the largest firms with the most money who can continually update their SEO practices and make sure most people link to them will stay at the top of those lists. But now, instead of having people write the low quality contents, we're having machines write even lower quality content, and the machines are using the lower quality content to produce even more lower quality content, and eventually you lead to something that's incomprehensible and unrecognizable. Essentially, what we have is like a digital game of telephone. And this will lead to something called model collapse, where the machines are producing something based on the original message that is essentially different and incomprehensible from whatever the original message was. For what species are we talking about, Joe? Keep in mind that not every species reproduces at the same rate. Bacteria reproduce a lot faster than mammals do, and of course, they will go through more mutations. The problem here, Joe, is I think you think evolution has a goal in mind. It doesn't. All evolution does is make an organism better suited for its environment. Technological evolution and biological evolution are not the same thing there, Joe. Yes, the speed of light is impressive over short distances. Yes. Congratulations on understanding what Clarke's law told us, that any sufficiently advanced technology is virtually indistinguishable from magic. Are there any other astounding insights that come from 20th century science fiction authors you'd like to tell us tonight, Joe? We are a long way away from self-replicating robots, Joe. I don't think any artificial intelligence is going to become omnipotent. And Tucker, I know you've heard this before, but you're an idiot. Oh my gosh, Tucker, you got something right. All right, well, that's about as much of that as I can take, so hopefully I can get back to a more regular schedule, but not for a while. It's going to be a couple hairy weeks here. Hopefully closer to December, regular videos will be back. And, well, sorry there wasn't anything more interesting tonight. I hope everyone is doing well, and go out and write some code. And you think I would learn to hit the end stream? Well, since I didn't do that, despite what it says on the bottom, we need 8 more subscribers to reach 256. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you found this content useful, share it out. And join us next Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for Faulty Logic Fridays.